You have a question? Okay. Right now you're fixing to be in 2 campaigns. Is there a limit to how many you should be in at once? I think the only limit that there should be is whatever limit you set for yourself. And my recommendation around that limit that you set for yourself would be probably at the point where any of the games that you're in, that your involvement in them suffers. So I don't have as much experience with this on the player side of it, but on the DM side, I started with 1 campaign and then I started a second campaign. So I run 2 weekly campaigns, and at one point for a while there, I was running actually 3 a week. I think the third one was every other week. It was like a unique opportunity with like 2 players, and I kind of wanted to experiment with tracking experience points, and it was like a city-based game. There's just a lot of interesting things that I wanted to try. Plus, I wanted to see if I could actually support 3 games a week, and I could. It was a bit of a strain sometimes, but I got a lot of good experience from doing that, and I like doing that. That's probably my limit. Now, my limit now that I'm like streaming and making videos, and because I didn't used to do all this stuff, I was just sort of making stuff and running games on my own, just hanging out down here with the cats and crafting to all hours of the morning. Now I do it all with sort of a community and all the stuff that keeps me plenty busy. So I think two a week is probably my limit now. But I think what I use as a gauge is, okay, at what point is the game suffering because I don't have enough time to put into it, or am I not, putting enough energy and thought into it that I'm happy with kind of what happens in the game or my contributions to the game. I think there's probably more room as a player because technically you have less to think about, but that also has to do with like how much you can keep in your head, how much you can be excited about and be genuine about. Note taking probably plays a big part of it too. Yeah, 2's probably good. I would agree. Firemaster was my favorite D&D show or podcast. I don't really watch like actual plays or even listen to people talk about the game. Just kind of do my own thing. So I wouldn't have one to recommend. There are videos that I would that I like, individual videos I've liked. Like I cite I really like the Red Nose Day game between Matt Mercer. Matt Mercer ran a game for Stephen Colbert. I cite that, I think, all the time. That one's really cool. It's on YouTube. It's like an hour, but that was one of those things that I watched early on. It's a really solid like solo game. Before I got into the parties I'm in, I tried to play D&D solo but couldn't find a way. Do you one day want to try again? I'm thinking of making cards. Nice. Well, this was so I've never tried it actually solo. This was I guess it'd be better to call it a duet. So just like a DM DM plus 1 player. Ooh, that'd be really cool. A lore book would be fun. Would you I think if I was doing something like that, I'd want to like have it written for like I would create a character that wrote it. That way it could be written from the perspective of a character in the world rather than like, so it's almost like putting a history or like a cultural book into your world, but written by somebody who lives in it. That would be pretty neat.